If the light is on the right and the ball is on the left, where will the shadow be?
It's our time with Mr. Mayberry. Hey, let's get creative.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mr. Mayberry.
Today we're going to be drawing a picture of a groundhog, but before we start, I want to take a moment and talk about shadows. I asked you a question in the opening: if the light is on the right and the ball is on the left, where would the shadow be? Let's find out. Can you see it? The shadow is on the left. When the sun or light is on one side, the shadow will always be on the opposite side. Let's take a look what it looks like if I move the ball to the other side. Now the light is on the left and the shadow is on the right. What happens if the ball is right underneath the light? Let's see. The shadow is directly below. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how light works with shadows. And now it's time for us to draw. So let's get started. It's time to make some art. I have my paper turned vertical, the tall way, and I'm using just a regular pencil. And I'm going to start right in here. I'm going to draw the groundhog's face first. I'm going to make a line that curves up and over and down, like that. And then I want to make it look like he's got cheeks here, so I'm going to curve the line around on either side. Okay, I want to go up here to the top and draw his ears. Two little curves for the ears, one here and one here. Then inside the ear, I'm going to make it's almost like a V, but it kind of curves here at the bottom. This is just the inside of the ear. I'm going to put a little bit of hair on the top of his head. Okay, up here in the middle of his face, I'm going to put an upside down triangle, and I start by drawing a letter V. And then I put a line across the top, just like that. And you can shade that in. Okay, now next I'm going to draw his mouth. I want to make a short line underneath his nose, just straight down. And then I'm going to make a line that slants down to the left and one that slants down to the right. And then I want to make a line that kind of curves up on the right and one that kind of curves up on the left. Okay, next I want to draw his teeth, and for the teeth I'm going to make a line that goes down, slants in and curves under and goes back up. It just kind of a curved line. And then a line down the center, so we see he's got two front teeth. Okay, this is a cartoon groundhog, so I'm going to make cartoon eyes. Make two ovals that are standing up. And I don't want to make the eyeballs just yet, or the pupils just yet, because we're going to have him looking down at his shadow, and I want to draw that first. Okay, I'm going to make this line a little darker here. Yours is probably dark enough right now, but I'm going to go ahead and make mine just a little bit darker. Okay, and then I want to make just the start of the body right here. So I come in, it's not at the very edge of this curve, but I'm going to come in about halfway between the curve and the end here. And make a line that curves down like this. and then one over here on the other side. Just like that. Okay, next I want to make it look like he's coming out of the ground. So I'm going to start right here. Make a line that curves around to the other side, like that. So this is like he's popping out of a hole here. And to make it look more like a hole, I'm going to shade in on either side of him. Just like that. Okay, next I want to go back here and put a horizon line or a sky line. Everything up on the top is the sky, and everything down here at the bottom is the ground. Now, we talked about the sun shining above, either on the right, on the left, or in the middle. And depending on where the sun is, then you will see the shadow in different places on the ground. Now, you can choose where you'd like to have your sun, whether it's on the left, the middle, or the right. If your sun is on the left, then remember the shadow of the groundhog is going to be on the right. If the sun is in the middle, the shadow of the groundhog will be down below. And if the sun is on the right, and that's where I'm going to put mine, then the shadow of the groundhog will be on the left side of your paper. Okay, so to go ahead and figure out where you want to draw your sun, I'm going to go ahead and draw mine over here on the right. Put some rays coming out away from the sun. And I'm going to make mine a happy sun. I'm going to make a smiley face on the sun. And it's shining down from the right, so my shadow is going to be over here on the left. So I'm going to make a curve. It goes from one side of the hole to the other. And then up here I'm going to make some bumps for where the ears are, so we see the shadow of the ears. Then I'm going to shade all of the shadow in. Just fill that all in. Okay, now I want to make it look like the groundhog is looking at his shadow. And he's scared of his shadow, so I'm going to make some eyebrows that are curved like he's frightened by his shadow. And maybe even like he's sweating just a little bit. He's surprised or scared by his shadow, so he's going to go back into his hole. And according to legend, that means that 6 more weeks of winter. And this is our project for today, drawing a groundhog and making a shadow. For more shadow fun, try tracing shadows on a sidewalk with chalk. Thank you for coming to art class, and I'll see you next time.
Goodbye, Mr. Mayberry.
I'm not sure, but I think that means 6 more weeks of basketball.